Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Music Mondays on Understandable English. In this series, I tell you all about the most important songs that everybody knows, and I tell you what the lyrics mean. Today's song is Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Riders. So let's take a look. Dexy's Midnight Riders, often referred to as simply Dexys, is a British pop group formed in 1978. The band's sound is characterized by its soulful, horn-driven music. Horns are like the instruments like a trombone or a trumpet. So horn-driven is lots of horns or these instruments in the music. And the distinctive vocal style. So distinctive vocal style means that when you hear his voice, you know that you're listening to Dexys. You know it's him. You don't think it's anyone else. One of Dexy's most famous songs is this song, Come On Eileen, which became a massive or a huge hit in the early 1980s. Known for its infectious melody, or a melody that spreads everywhere, and energetic fiddle riff. A riff is like a part of a song, and a fiddle is like a violin. Because it's so popular, you've probably already heard this song. But what does this song mean to me as an American who grew up listening to this music? Well, even though this song is old, it is still a popular song at parties. When this song comes on or starts playing, people will always start dancing and singing. The lyrics of this song can be hard to hear or understand, so sometimes people sing it differently than the words that were actually written. As always, I can't play the actual music because of copyright, but we can still look at the lyrics. So let's take a look. The intro is just, come on, Eileen, come on. Which just means, let's go, you can do it, Eileen, come on. And onward to verse 1. Poor old Johnny Ray sounded sad upon the radio, he moved a million hearts in mono. We often say the word poor old, which just means an unhappy and old person. So poor old Johnny Ray means an unhappy, old, unlucky Johnny Ray, who was a famous singer in the 1950s. He moved a million hearts. If you move someone's heart, it means you make them love you. So he moved the hearts or made a million people love him in mono. That is the way that they recorded music back then. In mono means there's only one sound, not a right and a left, just one sound. So he moved a million hearts just in mono. Our mothers used to sing along. Who'd blame them? To sing along with music means to sing at the same time as you're hearing this music. So you listen to the song and sing along. Who would blame them is a phrase that we often say, which just means, how could you not sing along? It was a good music. How could you not? It's good. Who'd blame them? You're grown, a grown-up, so grown up. Now I must say more than ever, and we can sing just like our fathers. A grown-up is an adult person, not a kid, not a teenager, but a grown-up, an adult. Now I must say more than ever just means I really want to say this. I've always wanted to say this for a very long time, and now even more I want to say this. And onward to the chorus. Come on Eileen, oh, I swear well he means, at this moment you mean everything. You in that dress, my thoughts, I confess, verge on dirty. Oh, come on Eileen. When you say I swear, this just means I promise. So come on, I promise at this moment, you mean everything, or you are the most important person to me. You mean everything. This is a common poetic phrase. I confess means I must admit or tell the truth. That my thoughts, they verge on, or they're almost dirty or a little bit sexual. This is a 18 plus song here. And from there, we can go on to verse 2. These people round here wear beaten down eyes, sunk in smoke-dried faces. The people around here, or the people here in this place, wear beaten down eyes. This is a bit poetic, and it means that their eyes show that they've had a very hard life. They've lived a hard life. Sunk in smoke-dried faces. A sunk-in face is a face of someone who is tired and unhealthy. And smoke-dried probably just means that lots of people are smoking cigarettes. So they have these kind of dry faces. Resigned to what their fate is, but not us, no, not us. We are far too young and clever. Remember, Eileen, I'll hum this tune forever. Resigned to what their fate is, this is a phrase, and this means that they accept their future. They don't fight their future, they just know that it's coming, and they accept what is coming. We are far too young just means too young. This is a common collocation, a common phrase. far too big, far too young, far too old. You can say it with any other adjective. To hum a tune or a song, a tune's a song, but to hum a song or a tune just means to sing without words. You say something like, This is humming, I'm humming. And from there, let's look at the second chorus. This one is a little bit different. Come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear, well, he means. Oh, come on, let's take off everything. That pretty red dress, oh, Eileen, tell him yes. Oh, come on, let's, oh, come on, Eileen. Oh, come on, Eileen, I swear at this moment you mean everything. Come on, Eileen. Here, let's take off everything probably just means to take off all of our clothes. Again, a little bit 18 plus here. But other than that, I think you know all these words from the last chorus, so let's take a look at the outro. This is a little bit strange. He's more or less just saying this. There's no more music. And this isn't on all of the versions of the song. This is only on a few of them. And he is just reading an old poem, an old Irish poem by Thomas Moore from the 1800s. It goes something like this. Oh, believe me, if all those endearing young charms that I gaze on so fondly today were to suddenly leave you or fly in the night, just like fairy gifts gone in the sky. Although it's not included on the recording or on the song, the poem continues, Thou wouldst still be adored as this moment thou art, let thy loveliness fade as it will, and around the dear ruin each wish of my heart would entwine itself verdantly still. In general, it just means that if all of these beautiful things that are with you or with this woman disappear when she gets old, he will still love her just the same. Don't worry too much about understanding this poem. It's difficult even for a native. It takes a little bit of practice to know this type of old language. Well, that's all for today. See if you can use 5 of the new words or phrases that we talked about today and write something in the comments down below. As always, I'll help you fix your mistakes. I recommend you listen to this song on your way to school or work tomorrow to see how much you learned. If you learned something new, feel free to press like or subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Understandable English. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Toodles!